We will give some brave souls a chance to show me their teapot design. And we're gonna judge collectively whether someone's teapot is feng shui enough or not. So immediately you can already see a lot of effort put in here to make it looking pretty. Ah yes, one of those rooms. We will close the door to the back room and never mention it again. Cozy area with a gate and 2 lions greeting us. Although the 2 lions is pointing their butts outside. Oh, nice. This looks like a Melusine town. Paimon! In the kitchen, of course. What? What? Ready to review your teapot? Of course I am. I was born ready. I'm gonna give you a quick tour of my teapot real quick. It's very run-of-the-mill average. So keep your expectation relatively low. I believe this is Liyue theme. I try to have a semblance of things at first, but it quickly devolves just to putting furniture inside. You want to look at some of the rooms? I think this one is a set, so it's looking a little bit nicer. That's wrong. This is the one room that I stuff a lot of shit in to farm points. You guys probably also have a room like this, right? Random chair to look at walls. Hello, Shuyang. And mostly these days, I just go here, I talk to Tubby, grab these coins, grab the trust rank for friendship. Strongest cryo waifu of the past versus cryo waifu of today. Who will win? For the longest time, I thought this statue was supposed to be a woman, but no, it's only. He does have a little bit of chest there, which is misleading. Wait, can I fall down? I can fall down. And this part, I at least try to make it seem somewhat coherent, so nothing is impeding on the other and every furniture has their own space. But this is when things kind of fall apart, where I just shove things in rather than worrying about what kind of theme I was going for. Randomly, a Shinobu and a Sucrose. All the characters I frequently play are already at maximum friendship level. These are the characters that I kind of like, but do not play very often. So I put them in the teapot. Alright, that is my teapot tour. I may work on this sometime in the future when I feel particularly bored. From 1 to 10, how feng shui do you think my teapot is? And it's fine, I absolutely expect something below average. Not too bad. Okay. Generally, I still at least try not blocking a walking path. Like for example, there's a walking path from the other island all the way to this island, and I make sure that it is reasonable to walk and you do not have to dodge some furniture along the way. And then after we got to this island, there's a nice open area to continue walking with buildings on the side. But as a Rise League player, I can clearly clarify this was made by a pro. Oh, thank you. I don't know whether being a Rise League player adds some merit to that or not, but thank you. Rise League, voice over.
No need to fear.
Sorry, chat. No, I'm not sorry. Chasing that Jaska. Think you fast? Think again. I do have an unfair advantage. I do have 2 characters to swap to and use their skills. Found ya! Alright, chat. I hope you've been enjoying the teapot. Who wants to show me the teapot? At the end, you show yours. Gotcha. Alright, so this is my friend's teapot. And I know she put a lot of effort into making this. I'm gonna just go ahead and run around a bit. A Kinich greeting us with a small but cozy garden over here with nice pathway, and I believe all of these grass are hand placed. So immediately you can already see a lot of effort put in here to make it looking pretty. Let's move on to the other island. Oh, I love the cozy vibe. Even though the island is really big, I love how she just put everything close knit together like this. It feels like a small town. Some supermarket over here, some place to sit. Jaska, Mahuika, and Lanyan having a little bit of a chat nearby a Fontaine fountain. I feel like sitting down here. This is a cozy little town right here. Oh, I know what this is. So this is a maze. Oh my god, why is that supposed to be? Reach destination within the shortest time. Where's the destination? I'm lost. Chat, I'm lost. Well, hold on. Mahuika, that's cheating. Hold on. I did not plan to do that. There's so many dead ends. Is that the end? No, that's the beginning. Some of these walls are kind of trippy. Still the beginning. Is there even an end to this maze? Or is this a trick maze? Fuck. Oh. Alright. Enough of that. Let's fly up. That's a cool maze. That's the maze. Oh, nice. I thought it's supposed to be rectangular. Seems a little bit more complicated than that. I'm gonna rate this teapot 8 over 10 to 9 over 10. It does have a lot of thoughts put into it. This part, all the crystal flies over here adds a really nice touch. So I'm gonna say 9 over 10. It looks wonderful. It looks like almost like a wonderland-ish. And the crystal flies doesn't fly away. We're getting sidetracked a little bit here. I believe many tall male characters have very thin legs. That's Kaya. The look also has kind of thin legs for his build. Ayato also has very thin legs. Up until Alhaitham is, I believe this is the thinnest legs of all. They are kind of covering Neuvlet's legs, so it's hard to see, but he also has somewhat thin legs. Wriothesley is the one character that has thick legs. And that translates to his cake also be thicker than the other male characters as well. That's why he has the reputation, and we're back to thin legs. So if they were to ever release Capitano, which is copium at this point, visiting Rice Teapot, let's look at Rice stuff. So immediately as I join, I am put into this location. Okay. There is a walking path, but what I do not really like is that we have to walk past the grass, which is somewhat unintuitive to interact with some of these. And we also have to walk past the grasses or the bushes in order to interact with Tubby. That's gonna be a little bit of points off for sure. The inside of this, nice. Even though it's not looking the fanciest, but it's looking like this area is well defined with the rock and just immediately a somewhat welcoming atmosphere. Kind of wish physical would be good again. I have the same sentiment. I share the same sentiment. I was hoping that Skirk's gonna be a physical character, either just off-field buffing physical or anything main damage dealer physical, but it seems she's more cryo rather than physical. I tried to push the physical agenda so much. Oh, this is nice. The idea is very nice. This is immediately as we're walking in, this seems to be just a personal room. We see a resting area on the right with pictures, memories from the past. I'd personally like to put a few more chairs here if I'm gonna look at this critically, but this is extremely nice. This is separating the more common area to the more private area that you sleep in terms of interior design. I would rather tuck this bed into this corner right here. It feels a little bit more cozy rather than being here, you're sleeping and then you're just constantly looking to this area and it's open. As opposed to sleeping over here and we are not distracted by any other energy coming to us. Paimon! In the kitchen, of course. I would not like to just sit and look at the corner like this, even if I'm eating. Facing this way, I'd much rather the tables to be all the way back here, or just flip the chair around. The chair is gonna be inside and then we're gonna sit like this and look outside. But those are just talking about minor details, right? Emily casually just hiding behind a tree. Not gonna ask any question. Why are they shaking? Why is the ground shaking? Because of this? The whole ground was shaking. Holy fuck. You have an entire Melusine village. Nice. Okay, wow, that's so nice. Inazuma kind of area. They are pathway and buildings are generally placed outside of the pathway. I do appreciate that. Now this area looks a little bit too wide open. I get welcoming to some rocks. It would be nice to have just something randomly on top of this, maybe a chair, maybe something. It feels a little bit more rewarding to climb over this and there's something there. Like at least this is nice. We climb here, there's a tree, it's nice to look at. I'd like to have a chair right here. What is feng shui? Feng shui is a Chinese term. The exact wording of it is wind water, but we never use the exact wording of it. Feng shui meaning landscape and body of water was thought to direct the flow of the universal chi, the cosmic current of energy, through places and structure. More broadly, feng shui includes astronomical, astrological, architecture, cosmological, geographical, topographical dimensions. It was used to choose orientation of buildings, dwellings, spiritually significant structure such as tombs. Feng shui tends to be reduced to interior design, to health and wealth. It can get a lot more religious than this, but we're not going to dwell into the religious part or the spiritual part. What I am referring to feng shui is generally a design that is pleasing to the eye, it is convenient to use, and it feels pleasant to be in. That is my own interpretation of feng shui. This seems like a nice area with some games. A lot of foxes and dog and animals. Okay, nice. Which character can destroy all of these? One Speed Mahuika? Could be. Get to work. Look at that. Alright, so I'm ready to give the verdict. I appreciate the thoughtfulness that goes into the main area, the main building, and the interior of it. The area does feel pleasant to be around. I'm gonna say this teapot is an overall 7 over 10 for me. Even though everything is pleasant, it lacks a wow factor. 6 over 10. Alright, I see some people having a little bit harsher opinion than I do. Move on to the next one. We are sampling teapots today. Okay, as I teleport here, I am immediately greeted by a fountain that blocks my way forward. What is this? I'm walking down the stair and then I cannot continue walking forward. I have to walk like this. This would be, I think this would be fine if the fountain is maybe 1 or 2 meters backward. So the fountain starts over here. Let's check the interior. Okay, there's a bed that's tucked in the corner of the room. This feels a little bit lonely in the bedroom. This feels a bit lonely in the bedroom, and it's very exposed to the guest area. Like imagine sleeping here, then just someone walks through the door. Imagine sitting here in the bed and someone just hanging out and sitting over here. Not good chi, not good energy. Now this feels like a cozy area. Don't be afraid to experiment with putting in the middle of the room. You're kind of just shoving everything in the corner of the wall right now. That would make this room feel less empty. Even though there are a lot of people standing here, it seems like they are just standing around doing nothing. Doesn't feel like a welcoming home. Oh, what is this area? It seems like a cozy area with a gate and 2 lions greeting us. Although the 2 lions is pointing their butts outside. It's gonna sound harsh, but I'm harsh to my own teapot as well. Like, there are efforts. I'm gonna say it's a 4.5 out of 10. During the process of Rocker X adding me, I will give a little bit of tips on building the teapot. So you want to talk to Tubby very often and go to the great furnishing option. And you want to be crafting something that is new. The things that are new will have the little mark on the top right corner of it. And the purple furnishing are the ones that gives the most point. Generally, you'd like to craft the purple stuff to gain points faster. Oh, what's this? Okay, definitely. From the moment I teleported here, it looks nice. Now, just a extremely minor bone to pick. I'd love to see a little bit of railing over here. Seeing the head of the Zhongli statue just poking out like this, and then I have the chance to just walk like so into the statue, it feels slightly weird. This is a very nice nook right here. So this whole area, I think it is very well presented. Even from this side, it feels welcoming. Looking at this, it feels welcoming. And even when I first teleported to the teapot, I get yeeted here, it also feels welcoming. Let's get inside. I'm just hungry. Alright, grab some snack then, Silo. That's Alekino. Oh, nice. Using those screen here to block off areas. This is really nice. Immediately, we see a cozy sitting area over here. Alekino hanging out by the fire. This room has Lisa blocking the door. I have to shimmy around her with beds. You know what? If Lisa is not staying right here, then this room is okay. A little bit tight in terms of space management. This is definitely very feng shui. The energy of the hallway, everyone walking by, and then it's more suitable for a working desk. And then get away from the door as we get closer and closer with the screen blocking off most of the energy here. This is a nice cozy area to rest. Let's check this side. Okay. This is a little bit less feng shui in general. If this serves as a reading room and resting or chatting room because of the teapots over here, then it's fine. But there happens to be a random bed shop in the corner here. It doesn't feel like it's supposed to be a bedroom. You can definitely take up some of these notes to work on your own bedroom furniture arrangement. It absolutely works for real life as well. Leisure time! Chlorine standing behind the door in an empty room. Leisure time! What is this? Why? I know that there's an area up here. Is this supposed to be some kind of parkour? Parkour? Okay, not parkour. Parkour! This is nice. This upper area feels nice. I think you're doing a generally better job with exterior design than interior design. This just one area over here that is floating off the ground feels ethereal. I would love to have a way to climb up here rather than having to teleport. Feels like a hidden getaway area. Very nice. Bathwater? Raiden's bathwater? Alright, let's move on to the next area. There's already a lot to look at here in this teapot. Nahida looking at the trees, of course. More bathwater? The forest. I see. Nice usage of the rocks here to make it feel like the forest is closed off. Next one. This is slightly unaligned, the gate, and it slightly irks me. This area feels nice with the tree to be grounding everything in the middle. A village like, yeah. Nice teapot area. We continue to move along to an area that looks like some kind of experimental make. Ooh, stair. What? Where the entrance to this is supposed to be? It's very hidden, and there's no walkway to guide us. It's my verdict. There are a lot of thoughtfulness that goes into here, and the areas that it seems you put more effort in, it pays off. This feels cozy and creative, and it does have the wow factor with the floating island. It feels welcome. The interior, some rooms are really well designed, some a little bit less. I would rate this, just because it's unfinished, I believe if you put the same level of thoughtfulness to everything, it may gather a point of 9.5. I'm gonna say right now it's hovering around 8. The things that are well done are quite well done, with a certain finesse to it. I like to have these pathways be meaningful, and they lead to an area that is walkable. This must have a clear pathway to this, or maybe it looks something like this. Doesn't matter, it must lead to this, and then eventually this must lead to this, to this, to this, maybe something like that, and leads to this. Is your teapot joinable from offline? Nice. Okay, my impression as I first teleport here is empty. It's weird, right? Because normally we only need to care about the entrance of the house like this if we visit the place, but the first impression of teleporting a teapot is also somewhat important. That's the first thing we see. We see emptiness. Looking at the surrounding area, there's nothing here. It's very consistent with the first impression. Let's look inside. Something's missing. I think this area could use something similar to the last teapot. When I first go in and I look at this, it seems empty, but then when I pan my mouse and looking at these, then it looks cozy. I think what could benefit this a lot is to simply section off these areas. So use one of the screen right here, similar to how Rocco X was using in their teapot, just to direct our attention to say, oh, this is its own area. It's not merged into this whole big thing. This is a little bit harder because there's a stair right here, so I'm not sure how to do that yet. This clock is absolutely in the way of walking to the stair, by the way. If people are living here, you don't want to squeeze like this every time walk to the stair. I think another way to do this is to soft block this section instead. Don't use the screen, it's gonna look jarring, but use something like trees in this area. So generally people know that, I have to walk like this, or I have to walk like this. This area feels a little bit bare bone. It could also use a little bit of sectioning. Either you use a carpet, a big carpet on the floor, just to signify that, hey, this is its own area of eating or something, or cooking. Yes, one of those rooms. We will close the door to the back room and never mention it again. Understandable. Have a good day, sir. I can't. Another back room. Oh, what is this? What is this? Why is it here? And another one when you block off the entrance. Take that. I walk in regardless. I don't know if I can walk out though. Oh, that looks like a town. Well, it looks like a town from afar. Now it looks like a dumping place for furniture. The furniture are stacked neatly against each other. The design is very inhuman. If you wish to enter your house, good luck. No, it's not a town. I recognize that now. I would like to teleport out of here. Thank you very much. A place to put some bigger furniture. Hot spring. Nice. Nice. The stair that leads to another roof. Onto another roof. Onto another roof. Onto a different kind of roof. Onto the Sumeru kind of roof. And we're out. Oh, looks like a maze of absolutely very similar copy-pasted rocks. Let me try to solve this maze. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's a cozy corner right here. You can put a chair down there. Hiding from the world. A boar. You know what? It does feel nice to have something at the top of the nothingness pile of rock. Like, oh, we climb all the way up here. There's something to see. This is a big pile of nothing. Look, I found another corner, Chad. I found another corner. This is a perfect hiding place. Imagine playing hide and seek here. Well, it doesn't work very well because the minimap exists. Oh, I slipped, Chad. Into the hole. Nature. I know, right? Mother Nature can sometimes be so unpredictable. Hide and seek but high UI? Yeah, actually, that would be very nice. Yeah, that'd be nice. That's unironically a good playing area. Okay, I'm gonna give my verdict. Is there even anything good to say about this? I'm gonna say that this still counts for something. At least there's something. Having nothing in the teapot period would likely constitute a 0. I'm gonna give this 1 over 10, 1.5. Amazing. Look at all those houses over there. The people have settled in for the night. I don't know how they climbed into their house, but they did. Turning on lights, absolutely cozy looking from afar. But it's absolutely atrocious when we walk close by. Is it your turn? It is. It is in America server, right? COD? Let's log out. First impression, teapot. I'm closing my eyes. What? What? Okay. First impression is definitely up there. I love the railing. I think mainly the Fontaine teapot main building is a step above. That is definitely it. I also appreciate the fences to section off the main area of the building. Outside impression, it is slightly weird that there is a fire right beneath a board. Like, the risk of fire, 100. Let's get inside. God damn! Right? I see the idea. It's just that when we first teleport in here, it looks a little bit weird. I see the idea. I would try to push this back just slightly if possible. But let's see what you're putting behind this. Holy fuck. Okay, nice design for this area. This is nice nook and corner. Now I'm gonna say that, how do you get into this chair again? It's a nice idea. If there's a little bit more space between this, I'd appreciate this a little bit more. I'll say from this corner, this looks nice. This looks like some kind of contest performing on stage, and there's maybe some kind of judge sitting over here. This room is not big enough for both this idea and this idea to coexist. Even though it looks nice, I think the space in front can be used for something else. Maybe just trees. But regardless, if the room is just slightly maybe 1 meter bigger, then this is a nice arrangement. Everything on the corner feels purposeful. This is a corner for reading books. Similar for here, it feels purposeful. This room, love the boldness in attempting to make the room having a slanted orientation. But then once again, this, oh, that's a Kaya. Hello, Kaya. I prefer to have other part in the room also following this pattern, the slanted or diagonal pattern. Yet they are just shoved in a corner. Imagine if this bookshelf is slanted. Instead of going like this, it's going like this. The room will feel a little bit more coherent in general. And this bookshelf, instead of going like this, there's something that goes like this. This looks like a hangout room. This side of the room feels nice. This particular table feels out of place. If the pets are over here, if everyone is over here, why is this person sitting like this and not interacting with the whole room at all? The whole room is behind them. This feels slightly, I'm gonna be honest, this is cool and off-putting at the same time. Because coming up here, I just realized that these characters have been watching me for the entire time that I am down here. Rosaria has been watching my entire parade downstairs. Same goes for Frozen, maybe she doesn't care as much. Same goes for Ningguang, same goes for Sucrose, same goes for Dory and Lanyan. I get the idea is to stand up here and look at some kind of performance downstairs. I'd love for this to seem a little bit more purposeful than this. It may not look nice, but try to experiment with putting some chair up here. So it feels less like stalking, but more like purposefully designed to be sit and watch. This is a nice dining room, it seems. Nice. Slightly pressed for more space, as with the design downstairs. And this one, is this the farming room or just simply section off? Actually, I love that. I love this. If there is not enough furniture to fill a room, I love that you're sectioning off like this. That part doesn't matter. Look at this. And this is nice. Oh, behind the stage. Okay. Oh, this is supposed to be sleeping room, right? Nice. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I did not see this room. Working area and sleeping area. I would try to even put something that's very short and maybe at hip height in this area, just to section off the sleeping area just slightly more. Right now it feels slightly exposed to people opening the door. I feel slightly off by this. Simply the foot of the soldier being in the way, it feels slightly guarded and unwelcome. If the soldier were to just be slightly off to the side, then it's better. Get off my place, you brat! Yeah. This is nice. This is a nice walking area, just like roundabout, but it feels big enough to continue walking like this, and it's fine. Holy crap, this is a very well thought through design and well designed area. This feels like a breath of fresh air regarding to the interior. We're only at the first island. Let's move on. Can I talk to this? Oh, I'd like to purchase that. Casually collecting my taxes. My feng shui reviewing taxes. Just a nice square with different stores. Like navigating around this area feels... It takes a little bit of getting used to. But I think everything is purposeful. You chose everything that's related to Fontaine to be here. You chose everything that's something related to being a store to be here. We're supposed to walk here, right? Nice. I actually like this design from the game itself. It saves us the trouble of having to input our movement and just immediately get us to the next area while still keeping this feeling of traveling through space. There's another point to go to the next location. Yep. Oh, nice. This looks like a Melusine town, right? This is a nice and cozy town. The placement of everything feels purposeful. Everywhere is immediately available to walk to. The last area, a structure that is somewhat similar to the Lost Sea area of Fontaine. This also feels like a cozy town that we can walk around and everyone's place are immediately accessible. So even though for the non-main island, I see that you also put the thoughts into them and try to make them at the bare minimum presentable. Mix Poisson with the village from the Alkino boss. I see that. They do work together decently well. The color palette is matching. Into the water you go. Also, where's the secret thing? Oh, this is the secret thing. Ah, cool. It's a random hellichal establishment back here. Cool. Okay, I'm ready to make a verdict on this teapot design. Let me just quickly walk through everywhere for you to admire this. This area, the Melusine area, the Fontaine area. And this area, the main building area. This is the interior area with a big stage in the middle and people on top also peeping down. Dining room, office, cat room, some kind of storage-ish, and finally the master bedroom. This is a high contender for a 10/10 score. There are some slight adjustments I'd like to see from this, but overall I believe that there was a lot of dedication and a lot of good thoughts put into making this place. I would give it a 9.5, but 9.5 it's already a lot close to perfection right here. What do you think, chat? Are we giving a 10/10 here, or am I being too harsh with the 9.5? Yeah, that's good. Nothing's perfect. You can always make it better. That is true. And make no mistake, this is absolutely a place that I would love to be here living and enjoying, just visiting from time to time. Fontaine over 10. Alright. That's a very diplomatic answer from Sri Yang. This will be the last bit we're gonna do before we end the stream. You know what I'm gonna do, chat? Let's go! My god! Hold on. I want the traversing through the night kind of feeling. Get over that side. Oh! This is possible. Kinich! There's no burning, doesn't matter. Enemy resisting dendro. Let me cook, chat. Let him cook. Where's the burning? Alright, Novaland, you can help. Kinich, is your cooldown up? Good enough. That is the end of the stream. I appreciate you for hanging around, chat, whether you're just lurking in the background or actively participating in the stream. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, return often, return tomorrow. If you further enjoy the stream, you can also offer some membership support as well as super chat during the stream. I'd really appreciate those. And with that, here is some music to send you off on the rest of your amazing day. Have a good one, chat.